My name is Eric. I'm the Harley guy at Southside, and this is my bike. Started out as a 2003 Softail Night Train. I bought it for pretty much nothing off a guy that needed to get rid of it. And I rode it like that for about 6 months, and then the fuel pump went out in it. I've always wanted to put a Sportster tank on something that wasn't a Sportster. So I started making it happen, and then I just kind of kept going, and this is what we ended up with. I got some foot pegs I made from some old cams. This here's my brake lever and brake pedal. That's an old belt buckle from some old school dude gave me. This right here is just a cabinet knob from Home Depot. A lot of people ask me about how I did this. I always tell them it's a trade secret, but it's really just cheap stickers from Walmart and a Scotch-Brite pad. It works wonders. I got the old lady some foot pegs so she can ride on the Fender. I put a foot clutch and a hand suicide shift on it. I changed up the ignition and everything like that, and hid a bunch of wires and hid a bunch of stuff that it didn't really need on it. Try and clean it up a little bit. I put a Knobby front tire on it just for shits and giggles to see how it would look, and it looks okay, but it's not very practical. I don't recommend it. The root beer metal flake that Harley came out with for their Sportsters, and I really liked it, but the fender didn't match, and I figured since I worked in a paint shop that maybe I should have a cool paint job. So I got with Sean, and I was like, the only thing that I told him I really wanted was this Serape Mexican blanket look on the top here, and he pretty much, he did come through with that, and then he did all the rest of it, all came out of his brain, and I really like it. It turned out pretty awesome. Got to wear shades when you ride this bike. It's pretty sparkly in the sun. The gas cap, a lot of people ask me why or how, and this bike, I used to call it spare parts. I pretty much built this bike the way it is now with just stuff that I had laying around. This is an old hand wheel from like an old propane tank, and I wanted one of those real nice crown, super cool gas caps, but I couldn't afford that. They want too much money for that, so I was like, well, I'll just make my own. So I came up with this, and it seems to work pretty good, and it looks pretty cool too. The bottle cap thing is pretty much just by accident. It came to be because there's a big ugly bolt underneath here, and I didn't like the ugly bolt, so I took a little magnetic cover, and it's a perfect size for the inside of a bottle cap, so I can trade them out whenever I want to, but I just keep the High Life one there because that's the beer I drink. So shout out to Miller High Life. Put me on a poster. The actual only thing on this bike that was bought and paid for is this seat. Shout out to my old lady that bought me that for my birthday. A lot of people want to know what's up with this, and this is just something, you know how like rat rod dudes will have like a baby doll head or some kind of shrunken head or whatever, you know. Anyway, my daughter had a old Tinkerbell doll that she didn't play with anymore, so I took the head of it off and made a valve cap out of it. And she's not glued on or nothing, just has somehow managed to stay on there over the years, and she was kind of bent when she found out that I decapitated her doll to make a valve cap, but she came around. She likes it now. Well, because I'm a handsome devil, I need to remind myself of that all the time. Or at least my mom says so.